Yo, yo, yo. I probably should get like an actual camera at this point instead of using my laptop camera. I think the quality would be a lot better, and I think I'd be a little bit more happy with it. So, sorry, I guess, that this is shit visual, visually. But, yeah, so, been one hell of a week. It's about to be one hell of a 5 days for me after this. I don't normally work 5 days in a row, but, you know, guess that's what I'm doing. Yeah. Jaja. Today is Friday, and I'm probably gonna go see my uncle after this, so that'll be nice. And so, yeah, last weekend I went to this rib fest. Not really much of a fest. It was like my girlfriend's dad's cousin, which I guess technically that would be my girl's cousin also. Yeah, but the cousin is a politician back all the way in Big Rapids, so, and they do this like rib competition at their house, and they like invite like a bunch of people, but like you gotta like know them. So I guess there's been years where there's like 30 plus contendants submitting ribs, but this time it was just about like 16, I think. And but there was like way more than like 16 people there. There probably was like 50 or 60 people there. But yeah. So I ate a lot of ribs. I told that to my friend T, and I also said that there was no black people there. Which is kind of sad that there's no representation of the black community for ribs. One of the things that I'm sure they're very good at, but yeah, no representation of black ethnicity whatsoever, or any other ethnicity besides white at this rib festival. And she said that we must be then cooking the black people. Since there was no black people there, that had to have been the answer. um, but yeah, some person, some judge wasn't able to show up, so I actually volunteered my first time, even my third year going over there. First time judging, which was pretty cool. Um, they had like some guy from like Kentucky that judges a lot, so got to learn some stuff about judging ribs, I suppose. Some were definitely better than others. I think one like still wasn't fully cooked. This is the kind of thing I deal with. Uncooked ribs is something I guess I deal with now. Yeah, but some of the judges were a bit snooty. I probably should have expected that, but and so catty also. And I was probably, I think me and Cam were probably like the youngest people there, judging at least. Um, so yeah, it was a fun time. I would do it again. Yeah. Yep, yep, yep. There's this one guy there named Jerry. He he's an older fella. He has to be in his like late 80s, maybe early. Well, I would say late 80s. Yeah. But the brother acts like he's 23, honestly. Um but I really only say that because he does a lot of drinking and a lot of weed for like a late 80-year-old. And you always find that interesting, like seeing someone that is up in that age and like smoking weed consistently. And that kind of person is normally a lot more nicer than like the older fellas that are like very strict, very like set in their ways and stuff like that. And I don't know, it was just so interesting of the fact that he is such an anomaly in his generation, you know? Like I'm sure he's dealt with so many times in his life smoking weed in front of like his peers, and his peers are like degrading him because he's just doing what he wants to do, you know? I mean, especially what? The baby boomers? Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah. But this week I did go to New Way. It was good time. Good time. That was definitely fun as I remember. Um I feel like New Way, I go to New Way and I always hear like new drama. Always. There's always like new drama afoot. There's always something happened in between New Way experiences that are like, this is a topic of discussion now, you know? Um, I don't know. It's just always like, it's always funny that that's the thing that I always hear it at. Um, yeah. I'm trying to remember my set there. I went up early. Thank you, Paul. And it was I think mostly comics. I think there might have been like four or three non-comics watching me. Um, yeah, I liked it. I mean, oh yeah, shit, yeah, they were like cracking the fuck up over some of my jokes, so that was nice. Yeah, yeah. Then Wednesday, I went to Roadhouse. That was a lot of fun. I got there right when the storm was about to hit, and then I got like under the canopy, and then like the the sirens were going off because of the bad weather. So that was kind of cool to like be outside and like with everyone watching the shit storm outside, and then all comics are just like laughing at it, you know. Shout out to Andy, honestly. He does a great job hosting. Um, when I got up, there were probably five people at the bar. They're like in the tables, there was probably just comics, but then right before my set, there was a goth girl and then like her boyfriend, which was hype. And so before me was it was T and then Wes. And Wes did Wes's stuff, you know. He brought he was about to fucking kick them out. But I think they enjoyed it though. He took the mic all the way over to the goth girl and the boyfriend all the way up at the bar and like did jokes standing like this close to them. It was funny. I think he only did it like for two jokes and he just like walked back. That will never not be funny to me. It is the most intimate but funny funny experience for me. Um, yeah, I think it's the greatest. Um, so I went up after that. I was I don't know, I think lately I've been like to get myself out of like my own mind, like before going up, I'm like fucking shadow boxing or whatever, or like I'm like dancing, just like trying to like get in the groove, you know? I'm just like I'm constantly doing that just to like pump myself up. It's not that I'm like super nervous, it's just that I'm trying to make me do that activate a part of me for some reason. And honestly, what it's worth, it's working. It Something's working. And no one has really said anything about it to me actually either. No one has really said anything about it to me. Why are you shadowboxing and dancing before before going up? I don't have a clear answer if they ask me at that moment because I don't want to answer them, you know. But anyways, I did my set and lately I've been I have two songs that I sing which once again puts me in a position where I have to be myself and which I'm pretty much forcing that mentality all the time and making sure that I can trigger that and giving and putting myself in situations that I trigger that out of me. So I sing Creed and normally by the last like 2 weeks I've been like singing Creed and it's fine. I like it. Uh it's normally pretty funny, but um then I had to make an announcement because I needed everyone to know that there was a goth girl here. And that never happened there before, so I needed to make sure she didn't fucking leave. So I had to make the announcement, hey, guys, be cool. Don't freak out. There's a goth girl here. Whatever you do, Dylan, don't be autistic. For the love of Christ, don't be autistic. um, Jacob, don't do any Hitler shit. I need you not to do that. She needs to stay here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. How do I fucking pause this? Well, that was an experience. That was my uncle telling me that he is on his way. So, look at that. He's on his way. He's on his way for breakfast. I'm gonna get a free fucking meal today. I can tell you that right now. Yeah, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. I was telling Jacob not to do any Hitler shit. And then all of a sudden, this goth girl says that, no, I like the Hitler shit. I have a Nazi Pokemon card. And we're all like, what the fuck? What the hell? You know? But, dude, that was a great set. That honestly was one of the best sets at Roadhouse for me. All right, so I'm in kind of a dilemma right now. And I realize something that I think other people probably subconsciously have noticed and probably aren't able to like visually, not visually, but say it in words, you know, is that now I'm not specifically talking about all mics or all like all shows or whatever. I see this sort of trend where the producer of a show or the host of a show now, let me tell you, there's quite a bit of hosts that I like. There's quite a bit of producers that I don't like also. And then there's these gatekeepers. And I'm mainly speaking about these gatekeepers that 95% of the time that they're pretty much gatekeeping someone from going any further, really, in like whatever, you know, situation or industry it is, truly. It could be music, could be comedy, could be crocheting, it could be running. Like, it could be anything. A lot of these gatekeepers, they're, at least in comedy, they're normally not funny. Normally. They're normally not funny. And I think that's apparent to them, but they don't admit that. These like gatekeepers, they're good at picking people to moving on to like whatever that they're doing. They're good at like producing shows. They clearly have a history of producing decent shows consistently. And they're most likely good at hosting. Hosting doesn't always correlate to being funny. Those two don't have to be together. So it makes you think that the people that are gatekeeping things to the like masses aren't actually the people that are funny. And that is an interesting thing I never really thought of before prior to this. Um, it makes sense, honestly. If you were that good at the industry that you're in, you wouldn't be gatekeeping. You would be focused on being good. You want to be focusing on, I need to figure out how to pick people better, you know? And I'm not salty about something that I'm not like saying or anything. This is just, I'm envisioning that happening to me, and I'm seeing why it would happen, I suppose. Hypothetical shit, you know? But I feel like that was really worthwhile to say. It's not something people normally talk about, but it's important. I think it is. I think it's quite important to speak upon that. So today I got Canton and with Ned. Ned is a beautiful man. Inside, mostly outside. And Ned is really cool because he's the kind of guy that had really good success in what he wanted to do. And even with that, he is nice to fucking everybody. And that means a lot, dude. That it really does. It's not hard to be nice to someone. It's not. It's not hard to be nice to someone that you don't know. It's actually quite simple. And it's quite easy to do. Just don't be a fucking dick. Honestly. Um, yeah. But today will be due to another thing that's happening today. I got a job interview, which is pretty cool. Um, kind of thinking about being a driving instructor. I think I would be pretty decent at that. I feel like comedy has helped me. I feel like a lot of things in my life has slightly projected me into this role that would be nice. Yeah, I think it'd be pretty good. Yeah. seems like something I could do. So good benefits, good pay, you know. Yeah. So I think in a few weeks, pretty sure Don Don is gonna come out. Let me see. Anyways, July 3rd, coming soon. Season 2 of Don Don. Really excited because I'm not like super caught up in the manga for Don Don, but I read a lot of it. So when I normally read it, I normally read it all the way to where it's like current. Um, yeah. You know what's interesting I always think about is that sometimes I fucking like pray that not pray, but I think about like when I'm like really old or whatever, or if I'm, something happens to me that I'm like disabled in some sense, that I have to like stay in bed or like stay in my room for fucking months on end. Kind of like COVID. Um, I'm looking forward to COVID, honestly, because because I just so wish I had the time to like watch the shows I want to watch, read the manga that I desperately want to read, but I don't really have the time to like fully commit because I want to just just that's the only thing I want to do, you know? I'm looking forward to those days to where I'm old, retired, and I have the time to like read and consume all of those things. Especially One Piece. I'm so looking forward to like reading One Piece after after the show's done and like things are like moved on a little bit. I think honestly, I don't think anyone is going to be moved on after One Piece is done. No, because by that point, it the like live action is still going to happen. Re the remake of One Piece is still going to be made. Like the story is still going to continue on even after the anime is done. I'm watching the final season, the season 5 of You, and pretty good. I think I'm about halfway there. I like it. I think it's a wonderful show to watch. I think it's really moving. I think it's impactful. I think the show You is one of the it's a motivational show. Sometimes I think in my head that oh dude, I've been listening to a lot of Creed lately. Just a fuck ton of Creed. Just all the time, Creed. That's all I'm listening to. And oh, one more thing. I'm hearing the garbage can right now. The garbage truck. And one of the nights I came home, probably the fucking new neighbors that I have now, because I think the new neighbors threw out one of the fire alarms in the trash dump, and I came home like around 11 and it was just going off in the dump. Like they didn't even like take the battery out, you know? So I had to like climb in the dumpster to like break this fucking fire alarm so it would stop beeping the entire goddamn neighborhood. Are people this inconsiderate? Like, how are this people fucking stupid, you know? You, um, yeah, impactful, motivational, and honestly, one of the most relevant shows today. You is more relevant than Love Island. You is so way more relevant than Love Island. You you could happen at any given point. Love Island can only happen, guess what, on the island. Yeah, so here's an embarrassing thing that happened. I'm finally gonna talk something about embarrassing that happened. I think it was embarrassing. Maybe not. You be the judge of that, I guess. My girl keeps going to this oil change place, and she's like really likes going there. And I'm like, what, why? And she's like, well, they keep calling her pretty. I'm like, oh, okay, all right, cool. So I went and got an oil change there. Not to like, confront whoever called my girl pretty. Like, that's perfectly fine. Like, why would I give a shit? You know? Um, yeah, so I was the manager of that place was doing my paperwork, my payment stuff, and so I'm telling him like, hey, the only reason I came here because someone here called my girl pretty, and he got like all super defensive, like, oh, it wasn't me, blah blah blah, and he didn't like let me finish, but afterwards I said like, no, like I was hoping that I would also be called pretty, which kind of like gives him the opportunity to like call me pretty. Like I'm just like, you know, playing ball with him. No, he didn't fucking do that to me. He didn't even call me handsome. What's a guy got to do to get a fucking compliment from another guy? Granted, this is an oil shop place. So maybe they don't call other guys handsome at the place, I guess. Maybe it's not a progressive oil shop than I think it is. It's in Oak Park. Maybe I'm speaking this out loud. It's in Oak Park. What should I expect in Oak Park? I probably shouldn't expect an oil shop place to call me pretty. Maybe that's a bad idea. I tried doing that bit. Not even a bit, it's just a fucking story. I need to make it into a bit. I don't know how to fuck to make it into a bit. See, that's the issue with me a lot of the times. If I don't have like a good fucking structure of a joke, then if there's no structure, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing after that then. Like I need to make it into a structure and I don't see the structure. If I can't visualize a structure in a goddamn joke, then I can't say the joke. I could say whatever it is, but it's not going to work well. Majority of the time. A lot of the times I see that my set goes like how I like a lot of comedians do this. Um, it goes like this. Like there's highs and there's lows. The lows aren't so far from the highs that it takes you out of it, hopefully. But I think that's important. I think not everything should be like all high level like that cuz there's a total possibility that you're going to laugh the crowd out. That's going to make that's going to sound crazy, but it's true. A crowd can be laughed out to the point where they don't want to laugh anymore, which could harm you, I suppose, in some sense. Yeah, because when I went to Indy last week, that crowd was laughed the fuck out. But to be honest with you, I'm really excited about Ryan Brown being a part of Indy now and Jacob Russell. I'm very happy for them to being a part of like the indie production. Um, I believe Ryan Brown is like an actual friend of mine, so that's nice. I I believe that Jacob knows me a little bit, or at least seen me around. So I think I'm happy with that progress, and I think that if that gives them more of an opportunity to host, I'd rather have them hosting than some other people. Yeah, also I need a fucking guest. I'm actually thinking about since Wes probably couldn't do it anymore. I think I'm probably gonna. I think I'm probably gonna get Vincent. I really like talking to Vincent. So, hey, good news for me. I heard that they might uh have a draft going, and I'm 27, so I am just missed the draft, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. I feel bad for any of my younger friends. That truly sucks. Um, yeah, good luck out there. Good luck out there. Good luck out there, guys. Good luck out there. Oh, getting a lot of compliments from black people about my hair, so that's awesome. I'm so cool. I'm so cool. Anyways, that's been it, folks. I'll see you around.